All right, let me just do a quick audio check. Let me just see if everybody can see me and hear me okay. Just give me a chat back. Just get the actual questions up and running. All right, good to see you, Danny. All right, good. Everyone else? Just want to make sure everybody can see and hear me loud and clear before we get started. All right, good. Looks like everybody's in. All right, well, welcome everybody. Hopefully everybody's been locked up in their house and been being safe. Maybe before we get started, how you guys been in experiencing the whole coronavirus thing? How about you just break the ice and before we start talking about what does it mean in the stock market and towards your portfolio? How all have you guys been dealing with this whole coronavirus thing? Just out of curiosity. Tough, been hard. Well, guess what? You know what the good news is? Where else do we have to be? We're here. We're trading at home. We're safe. We have an excuse to be home. So why not go out there and just sit back and just trade? Why not, right? I mean, we're here. Why not make the best of it? So that's the big thing. So what I want to talk about, ladies and gentlemen, the reason why we're here, we're doing these great events, is that we really have to kind of realize that trading is a very, very, it's going to probably be the norm. It really is. You know, you saw the numbers that came out today. You saw what was happening in the market. People are actually losing their jobs left and right. And but the market has been so volatile. And you know what? You hear about the government open things up. You hear about these stimulus packages. Hear about all these things. But I'll tell you, to be honest with you, who knows what's going to happen when like here in New York. I'm based out of New York, the financial capital of the world. And I don't know if these people are going to get their jobs back. I really don't know. But I know one thing I do know. You could do this for the rest of your life. And now people are starting to realize you got webinar technology like we've been doing. I've been doing this for 20 years. Now all of a sudden people think like, wow, it's really not that bad to do a Zoom meeting or do a GoToWebinar meeting. Do I really have to spend all this money to go to college or could people actually work from home and save money? So I think you're going to see a really, really big change. But the most important thing is this. As a lot of you guys are here that now starting to realize that, and you're hearing, everything about the stock market. So, I mean, what's the two biggest things that you're hearing about on the news? You're hearing about the coronavirus, oil, and the stock market. That's really what it comes down to it. That's probably the most thing that's dominating the news. So, and you hear a lot of bad negativity. People always like bash the stock market. Listen, if they bash the stock market and they hate the people that work on Wall Street, and I know we all do hate people who work on Wall Street. I hate them too. Well, why not see what the whole thing's about? Why do people hate them so much? What are they doing that they're making so much money? Because there's an old saying, if you can't beat them, just join them. You know what? You got to put food on the table regardless. So, that's one thing I'm always in the finance industry and I love what we're doing. And I think now it's time for you guys to maybe start converting a new career or maybe start to realize how to do it right. Now you got some great presenters here you have some great, by the way, it looks like one person can't hear. All right. But the thing is this, when it comes to trading, you got to know how to play the game. You really do. And you got some great presenters here, and you're gonna get all different types of presenters talking about futures, forex, options. I'm an actual day trader. I just like day trading because I like to sleep at night. I don't like to hold positions overnight. It's not the most speculative out there. It's more conservative than everything else. But you got to learn how to play the game right, and that's my ultimate goal. So I'm going to teach you guys exactly what level 3 is and realistically how it kind of works. Now, just to let you know a little bit about CTU and what we do, I always like to introduce who you're listening to. And I think it's important that you guys understand, who the presenter is. But I'm one of the original day traders that started, and I've been doing this for 25 years. We're endorsed by more brokerage firms than any school in the industry when it comes to the stock market for day traders because, they watch what we do. And we learn how to keep things simple, and we learn just how to focus on just making a day's pay. How did I learn that? Listen, This is not the Fausto show. I did not invent this stuff. I just basically learned from the best people in the industry, because this is what Wall Street market makers do. So that's basically how it started. Now, how I started CyberTrading University, well, I started in 1995, and the big thing was, and I've been doing it ever since, and I love what I do. But the thing is, to be a good trader, you have to surround yourself with good traders. So the only way you could surround yourself with good traders, you got to train them how to trade like you. So that's how CyberTrading University was born. And at the end of this presentation, I'm going to invite every single one of you to come in to my office, which is my trading room online, and to see if people actually make money doing this. So you could really get the real truth about it. Because let me tell you something, what you're about to learn right now, guys, is that trading is not for everybody. And you're going to realize that maybe this is something, and you'll know right away once you get in the room. You hear all the good things, the bad things, the great things, the horrible things, and then you'll make a decision if it's for you or not. But I have two families that I have that I trade. Here's my lovely family, my wife, Debbie, my three lovely sons. And the reason I like to share this photograph with you is because when we trade, you have to be part of a family. You got to be part of a team. And the thing is, when you're part of a team, you just understand how to trade with each other. So I got two families. I got my students that I trade with every day, and I got my everyday family that I trade with every day. But I'm only as good as I am is when I surround myself with good traders, and that's the ultimate goal. And that's some of the big things you guys have to realize. It's not about just going out there and learning how to trade, from taking a school. You have to surround yourself and make sure that person's working with you and is trading with you. So why are we here? Okay, let's get right to that point. Why is everyone really here? You're here, to stop, not to make money. You're here to stop losing it. It's one of the biggest things that we teach at CyberTrading University. So the thing is, you hear everybody talking about, hey, Fausto, what are you trading today? What are you in? I hate the word hot stocks. I hate that. First of all, it's an illegal word, by the way. The SEC actually goes after people that use that word hot. So if you ever see that word, first of all, I passed my Series 7 license and my 63, and that was one of the laws you cannot say. You can never say the word hot. If you said the word hot, you got suspended and you get fined. So obviously, anyone that uses that word does not know the law of the exchange. Now, you could use the word watch list. This is what I'm watching. But these are things that you learn as a trader. And even if it was a legal word, it doesn't make you money. You see, the winners take care of themselves. It's the losers you really got to worry about. And how do we know how to control those losses? Like when we had that big crash in the market, when the market was down almost 3,000 points. You guys remember that day? That was like, my God, that was like a disaster. And then we had one of the biggest rallies ever. We were up like 2,000 points. I mean, this is like historic. I mean, now it's like we forget about it. But the thing is this, there's no better time to be in trading than now. So don't waste any time doing it. But you have to know where to get in and where to get out. I mean, you look at this photograph right here, the Dow Jones dropped from 29,000. And by the way, I'm just going to tell you point blank, if we did not have this virus, I would say the stock market probably would be up at 33,000 right now. By November, we should be at 36,000. Okay. There was nothing driving this market other than the stupid virus. And hopefully that's a good wake up call for people, because you could realize that there's opportunities that can, could destroy the market at any point in time. But the only way you would know that if you knew how to day trade, because you would see that happening as it was trickling ahead. But you know what? The market dropped down below 19,000, and where we are today, we're at almost 30, back to 24,000. Is this the bottom? Are we there yet? There's the only way to figure it out. You got to follow the money. So now is it not the time to buy or to hold? That's the big question. So the big thing is this: we need to trade with the market. We need to follow the big boys. We got to know what they're doing. We have all types of good news out there. You hear about the cruise stocks. You're hearing about the airline stocks. There's been some great news. There's been bad news. There's been big bailouts. But the thing is, where do we jump in? When do we get into some of these stocks right now? Because you know what? You can wake up the next morning and they could tank on you the next day. But let me tell you something. They've been great day trades. Absolutely. So how's this going to help us when we're trading the coronavirus? We need to follow the money. And that's what I want to cover. I want to show you how to find stocks that are making these big moves, companies that are benefiting from it, and the ones that are going to probably continue to be destroyed because of it. Rule number one. How do I find my stocks? First of all, let's just get something clear. I really don't care what I trade, and neither should you. Remember, you're here to make money. That's it. Okay? Please, you don't need somebody who has good bedtime manners. You just want somebody that's going to do the job. Okay? You got people dying, in the coronavirus. Yeah, I heard a horrible statistic this morning. Did you know that 88% of the people on respirators actually will die? You have a 12% chance that if you're on a respirator, you're going to make it. I thought that was, my God, that was devastating when I heard that. But the thing is this. Do you want to know that you think that's devastating? How about this statistics? Do you know that 80% of the people, 90% of people trade the stock market lose money? Why would you want to trade the market? And then you wonder why people are so negative. But you know what? People keep coming back. They keep coming back. They're like, I'm not a dumb guy. I know what I'm doing. How can I not figure this out? Because you're looking in the wrong place and you probably were not trained by the right person. So let me tell you, as a day trader, if you're looking to understand the real true day trading rules, I'm going to cover it right now. Let's talk about how I find my stocks. Big percentage gainers and losers. That's it. Blue Apron. Who would ever think of trading Blue Apron? What the hell is that company anyway? I know what it is. It's actually, they send you food home, but Blue Apron's killing it in this market. People can't go to the supermarket, cook their own food. Some people don't even know how to cook. So what they do is they'll just, have it ordered and pre-made to come home. Stock was up 177% in one day. BUGR, another stock up 153%. Look at all these moves. BMRA, 478%, 33 million shares. Are you kidding me? Now, please don't ask me, why is it up? Who ran it up? What does the company do? At the end of the day, you just want to make money. And the only way you're going to make money, guys, is you have to find these stocks that are going to give you less risk with the most amount of reward. Because when you go home at the end of the night, you're not going to go around and, pound your chest and say, hey, I was the greatest. I traded this one stock and brag and tell your friends on Facebook and tell your spouse what's going on. Listen, after a while, that gets boring. All right. At the end of the day, it's like, hey, are you able to survive in this big catastrophe we're having? Are you able? People are dying to get that $1,200 stimulus check. Are you kidding me? You can keep the stimulus check. I'd rather make $1,200 a day than worrying about, waiting for a stimulus check that's taken 2 to 3 weeks. You really think you could live on that? How about some of you on Social Security? Do you really think you're going to live on Social Security? Come on. Let's just trade the market. But the question is where we find them, and this is the best place to find them. Now, how do you know when to buy and sell them? Now, that's the next question we're at. Okay? Now, when I teach my traders, which, by the way, I'm going to invite every single one of you to come and join me, in my trading room, and you're going to see people just like you trading stocks like this. You're going to see how we get in and out of these positions. So how we do that is we follow the money. And you probably hear me saying that several times. Like, all right, no, Fausto, you said it 1,000 times. No, I got to say it another 1,000 times because people still don't understand what that means. You got to follow the other buyers. We are nobody. We are the ants on the floor. We're trying to get the crumbs. You have to follow the money. How do we do that? We use something that's called level 3. NASDAQ terms, and what they call theirs is called NASDAQ Total View. Now, does anybody here, I'm going to ask a question right now for everybody here. Does anyone here know what NASDAQ Total View is? Anybody here know what that is? Just looking at the chat. Anybody here know what that is? What about you, Danny? Wayne? Anybody? Nobody knows what Total View is. Never heard of level 3 before? Never heard of it, Wayne? Danny, never heard of it. Okay, so let me ask you guys a question. What is it worth to you if I was to tell you that I'm going to show you where 70% of where all the buyers and sellers are on a stock that you're trading? Think about that for a second. And by the way, this is fact. You can go on the NASDAQ website and I'll tell you this. 70% of where the orders are. I don't know. How many shares do you trade, John and Wayne? How many shares? When you do a trade, do you trade 70% of the volume of that stock for the day? You're probably laughing like, no, obviously. It's a dumb question. Of course not. But now you could see it. Why would you not want that data? Okay. I'll tell you why you didn't. You of course you want that data. It's just no one ever showed to you. I'm going to show you how powerful this data is. So let me show you exactly how this stuff works. Okay, so when you look over here, you got buyers on the left, you got sellers on the right. Okay, and you got some orders here. I mean, this basically on the left-hand side, these are orders. This tells you how many people out there are making up to buy these shares at what price. Basically, you're looking at a chat room. That's what it is. It's a big chat room. Whoever wants to buy for the most amount of money is up on top. Whoever wants to buy for less money is down at the bottom. Same thing for the sell side. Whoever wants to sell their shares of Uber for the least amount of money is up on top. Whoever wants to sell it for more money is down at the bottom. So you basically are bunched in with everyone out there on the street. This is the true data. This is where all the buyers and sellers are. Okay, that's it. Now you're seeing where everybody's at. This is where the traders are. Think about it. Now you get to see where institutions are. You get to see where brokerage firms are, traders are, Fausto, Mike, Bill, everybody. Goldman Sachs, Shearson Lehman, Charles Schwab, every dark pool that's out there. They're right here, right here. Holy crap. Kind of changes everything all of a sudden. Well, now how do we use that data? So let's look at this stock right here. Activision. Who the hell cares what the stock is, right? But anyway, great example. I assume everybody here knows how to read a chart. So we're going to keep it simple. I actually call it the KISS method. Keep it super simple. So I eliminated all these, everything that comes with indicators, everything. So right here, if you notice, the stock went from 60 and at 9:30 in the morning, here in the bottom, you see the clock, right? You know, the times right here. And right at 11, it dropped. It went all the way down to $58.45 and stopped there. Just totally stopped. And it went back up. And then over the course of the day, it always had this problem getting past this 58.45. Why is that? Well, we know looking at a chart that would be called a support level. But why is it having a problem getting past this price? Is it Mr. Fibonacci indicator doing that? Is it President Trump doing that? Is it, is it Biden doing that? Is it, AOC? Is it, Jordan Belfort? I mean, well, I don't know. Who is it? What is stopping it from going past that 58.45? You know what? I don't care who it is. I don't know who it is, other than I know one thing. When I look at total view, there's a 176,000 share buyer looking to buy it at 58.45. Now, if you look over here, there's 400 share buyers, 700 shares, 800, 176,000. Yeah, Danny, that is it. I don't know if it's an institution, whatever. I just know it's someone's looking. It could be me. Listen, I could be buying 170,000 shares. You don't know that. I don't know who it is. All I know is that there's a pretty big-ass damn demand at that price. Now, are you going to question that guy? Are you going to want to short a stock with a huge buyer out there where everyone's only showing you, hundreds of shares when you got, a guy looking to buy over 100,000? Why would you question that? Because guess what? If you did and you shorted it, you got screwed. Because it went from, 58.45 right up to 59. And then you wonder why, maybe it was a support level. Well, maybe because that buyer out there ended up buying it, and started executing all the sellers. Let's do the opposite. Let's look at the resistance levels. Okay. So here's you're looking at stock Peloton. Peloton went from $32 over the course of the day and shot up and hit a price of 36. Huge winner. You bought 1,000 shares of that stock. You made $4, $4,000 in a matter of, I don't know, 3-4 hours. What is that, $1 million a year? And then you wonder why people are so jealous of day traders. Okay. And like, wow, you made that much money doing it and you're still waiting for that $1,200 stimulus check, right? Please. This is so much more easier, more controllable, and so much more fun. And what's even makes it even more fun is because what people always ask, well, how'd you know I get out at 36? Why didn't it go back to 40? Why didn't it stop at 34? Oh, simple enough. There really was no sellers out there kicked in until down here at the bottom on level 3. You had a 43,000 share seller out there at $36. Kind of makes perfect sense. Simple as enough. So when you stop and think about it, what actually makes a resistance levels? It's this. See, what you're seeing, ladies and gentlemen, and fellow traders, is this is how day traders really trade here on Wall Street. When you see those guys on the floor of the exchange and they're trading, this is, when you see them looking at the screen, we think they're looking at. They're not looking at a gazillion charts. How do I know? Listen, I used to be one of those guys, and I even took my students. I had a cocktail reception. People are like, wow, you could do that? Yeah. Listen, it's eventually going to be able to do bar mitzvahs and weddings there. It's everything's electronic. They don't need to be there anymore. You're being replaced. There's no toll booths anymore. Everything's electronic. They're all copying the NASDAQ system. It's a negotiated market. The question is, you obviously are not looking at the right data, and that's why people fail and lose money at this. By the way, you guys follow me on Instagram? You should follow me on Instagram. I do a post every morning, 8:30. I give you guys a watch list, okay? And also, like this morning, we had a huge I had to look it up. I was talking about, did you ever thought about why brokerage firms don't give you this data and why they're giving you free tickets? How the hell does a brokerage firm, I'm going to ask you guys a question. How does a brokerage firm make money? By giving you free tickets. You ever thought of that? How do they make money? How do they go from $8 and they still could make money $8? Now they're giving it for free? How do they make money? Go check my Instagram and I'll tell you how. Anyway, let's look at this American Airlines trade. Stock's going down. Perfect looking trending stock, right? Question is, when is it going to go up? Well, when you look over here, you look at level 3, I don't know, maybe over here at 1155, 1150, you got over 250,000 shares looking to be bought at that price. Listen, I don't know how many shares you guys trade, but I think 4,000 is a lot of shares for $11 stock, a $44,000 trade. You look at 250,000, how much money is that? It's no $40,000. You're talking millions. Obviously, that is what we call a demand. But the chart said it was going down. But obviously, there's always a point when it's going to stop. And it's not about what happens in the past. It's what we're looking at in the future. And in the future tells us with that big buyer is going to help the stock go up. And when you look at the chart, if you knew that buyer was out there, guess what? It went from 1140 all the way to 1220 in a matter of, I don't know, 2 hours. 1,000 shares, make yourself 80 cents, $800, $250,000, almost a $200,000 salary. Sign me up. And then you wonder how day traders make so much money. This is how we trade. This is what I want to show you. I want to introduce you guys. I want to show you traders that I've trained how to do this every day. Come in my trading room. You'll see it. Because, I'm not a big fan of doing PowerPoints because anyone's like, oh, yeah, it looks so great. Anyone could manipulate a chart, you know what? And you're right. People could do it. I mean, I don't do that, but I know probably that goes in some people's minds. But I want to invite you to come and see this live in the market and show it to you how it works. Let's look at this one, Norwegian Cruise Line. Obviously, they're doing great today, by the way. We're doing great with all the Norwegian Cruise Lines. Wayne says, what is your Instagram? Just look up Cyber Trading University right here in the bottom. Wayne, look up our name on Cyber Trading University and just friend us. Let me see if I'll get an invite, and then we'll send you alerts all the time. More than welcome. All right, look at this one. without looking at a chart, without looking at all these special softwares and crystal balls and everything else, I'm just looking at NASDAQ. By the way, this is NASDAQ software. This is not Fausto software. This is not, the New York. This is NASDAQ's trading platform. You get this right from NASDAQ. Okay. And when you look right here, look at this. We're sellers, obviously resistance. Look at the sell side. Boom, $12. 74 people out there. 61,000 shares. I'm not even look at anything else. I could automatically assume that when I get to $12, I'm going to have a tough time going higher than that. So my game plan is if I own it at 11, 1150, 1190, damn well, I'm going to get out at 12. Why? Because I don't want to play around with that guy. Someone's got to take him out or someone's got to cancel. He's going to cancel his order. But you know what? When you look at the chart, everything there, it says it's clear as day. It's going higher. It's going higher. It's going higher. And I bet if you slap on a couple of indicators on there, you'll probably make you drool out of your mouth that you damn well better be a big buyer at this thing. But you know what? I'll go with door number 2. You stick with door number 1. I'll stick with door number 2. Because when we go to door number 3 and find out what the conclusion was, what it equals, boom, the thing went right back down to 1140. How did I know that? It's nothing that I know. It's all about supply and demand. You had a big supply out there. Guy wanted to get out, came up to him, and now went right back down. It's called program trading. Ever hear of it? Well, you should know a lot about it because that's what controls the market. So here at Cyber Trade University, we call them Iceberg Orders. That's basically what it is. Iceberg Orders, basically, I came up with that word after watching the movie The Titanic. I highly recommend it. Very sad movie if you haven't seen it. But we all heard about the Titanic. And after watching it, the movie, I kind of realized like how sad it is because you know what? The most unsinkable ship in the world that they thought back then is not so unsinkable when you come up to an iceberg because it's not what's on top of the water. It's what's on the bottom of the water. And the iceberg is a lot bigger on the bottom than on top. And that's what ended up happening there. It basically hit the iceberg and it sunk. And guess what? The same exact thing is what happened to traders. They don't have the right radar. They don't know where they're looking. And you know what? You think you could survive if you were on the Titanic? Because most traders don't. And let me tell you something. You hit an iceberg order, you could lose everything and you're out of business in trading. And the last thing you want to do is be out of business. You know how many people I talk to and they tell me, you know what? This is my 3rd time around doing it. Like 3rd time around. What happened the first time around? Oh, I blew up my account, but I want to try again. What happened the second time? I blew my account. Well, what do you keep just sinking ships and keep buying more? Aren't you going to run out of money eventually? Doesn't it stink to go out there and try to raise money, try to open up an account? Why don't you do it right the first time? So that's the way where it comes about. Okay. Now the next question is this. Fake orders. Okay. People always ask me, how do you know these are real orders? How do you know these people aren't really going out there and, canceling orders? And I heard about them. They're real. First of all, this is not like the fake news. Okay. There's no such thing of fake orders. These are real orders. And if you don't believe me, when you come to my trading room, I'll find a nice $280,000, 280,000 share order out there. And we'll go out there and you tell me how fake it is. Okay. So we'll go out there and do that. Now, the thing is this. Just because you see an order out there doesn't mean it's a real resistance. I mean, you look at charts all the time and you could see that we see stocks break resistance all the time. Well, when you look right here, when the stock hit a resistance levels, right, at 280 right there, and if you look right here, it hit $9 and it went all the way to 10. And meanwhile, everything that you use might say, oh, that's a resistance. It's, it's the 200 moving average, whatever, resistance. But then how many times have you bought a stock and you think it was going to hit a resistance and the thing breaks right through it? It's called a breakout. Well, what broke out? What broke out is that seller got executed. You ever used the time and sales window? People tell me, oh, yeah, it's too fast. I don't understand it. It looks like something like Christmas tree lights going crazy and stuff like that. I understand that that's what it is. Maybe you have your defaults wrong. And then I always come back to the first reason: who really trained you? That's where it comes down to. So when you look over here, if you look at it, I have the colors defaulted in green and red. You could see it's green, 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 green. Green means that the sellers are getting executed. That guy at $9 was getting executed. Somebody was buying it from him. And it could be, it's not someone, it could be everybody, you, me, everyone. And what ended up the stock doing? It just basically took off. That's a breakout. And how do we know it's a breakout? The guy was getting executed. Somebody was buying all those shares. So ask yourself a question. How many of you out there are seeing this data? How many of you guys out there are actually going out there and monitoring all these buyers and sellers and seeing where they are? Crickets. I hear crickets. Crickets from everybody. You know what? That's okay. That's okay. You know, and that's normal. That's fine. Danny, I'm glad you're honest. At least Danny's honest, for crying out loud. You know what I mean? Think how much smarter and better trading decisions you will make if you just knew this data. Have any of you guys ever watched me on NASDAQ? I'm a regular guest on their show, on the NASDAQ show, talking about, you know, their platform. They have me on, you know, I'm on all the time. You actually, if you go to our website, let me just show you, because I'm not going to have too much time. You're probably going to want to watch this. Hold on one second. Bring it up for you. I'm going to go to the Cyber Trade University website. If you scroll down here at the bottom, here's like my last interview. They obviously I'm not doing any more interviews with them. They're not doing any more interviews because of coronavirus. They shut it down. But watch the latest interview. You know, it's believe it or not, it's one of their most popular events that they're doing. You know, shows that they have. Everybody's starting to realize, like, holy crap, maybe this is what I really need. You got to have the right data. And you know what's so funny? This doesn't even cost that much money. When I used to use this stuff, it used to cost me $1,000 25 years ago. Today, it costs $15 a month. And people still are worrying about it. Here's another example. How awesome is this? You got a 300,000 share buyer right here at 13. And look what ended up happening. Stocks breaks through 13, is American Airlines, and goes all the way down to 10. Would you ever think that a stock would go past a huge buyer at 13? Well, guess what? Look at all those transactions. Red, 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 red. 200,000 shares. 28,000, 40,000, 5,000. It could happen. It could happen. You know? Now, people always ask me, is that a guy covering a short or whatever? I don't know. I'm not going to, by the time I think about it and analyze it, maybe do my research, it's going to be too late. And that's how that ends up coming up. So the thing is this, no problem. Actually, Kevin, I just got your, Kevin and Mike and Drew, I just got your Instagram following. And let me tell you, you're going to really enjoy it. So anyway, let's talk about Rite Aid. Regardless of the stock went from 17 to 21, us day traders, do you ever really think about like only just making 50 cents? I tell everyone all the time, and 50 cents, that's it. 1,000 shares, 50 lousy little stinking cents. 50 cents, if you do that every day, it's $500. There's a $100,000 salary. Where in the hell are you going to make $100,000 sitting at home, okay, working 30 minutes, no employees, no rent, no traveling expenses? You know where? Right here. Trading the market. This is why more people are starting to realize, they're like, you know what? I never realized that you really don't have to make a lot of money to trade to make a very successful career. Of course you don't. You just got to know how to play the game, and you just got to have the right mentor. That's how it works. And in just over 1 hour. Listen. By the way, anyone have any questions? I'm sitting here talking out of the way, and actually I'm almost done right now. So if you guys have any questions, please share them, because, you know, This is the best time to do it. I like the way you're laying it down. No BS. Not talking prisoners. Well, thank you very much, Joe. Listen, I've been dealing with competitors, analysts all the time. I had an argument the other day with an analyst because the last thing they want you to do is to take their job away. I am actually a stockbroker's mutual funds worst nightmare. Worst nightmare. Because I'm telling you, like, what do you need them for? You could do it yourself. What do you need them for? And then it'll be like, and then you'll like, listen, I got a 5-star Google review, and 5 stars on Facebook, and I've been doing it for a long time. I'm not the greatest marketer in the world. But we're very, very, I try to, try to do the best I can, with what I have. And, but I get bashed all the time. And you know who's bashing me? The people I'm taking their jobs away. I mean, could you imagine if I convince you all to say, fire your stockbroker or your mutual fund or your financial planner and just do it yourself? But to do it yourself, you got to learn how to do it first. Or how about this? How about you don't fire him? You let me show you what's going on, and then you start asking him questions. And this is what's going to freak you out. You're going to realize the guy really has absolutely no clue what he's talking about. He might sound good. He might have a 4.0 at Harvard, at a top school, have probably the best vocabulary, 1,000 times better than mine. But then when you start questioning, his trading and say, could you tell me why you actually bought this stock? No. I want to know who's buying it. And then when you ask him that question, who's really buying it? What makes a support level? You'd be shocked to hear what comes out of his mouth. You would literally be shocked. A couple of questions. Do we have to have 25,000 open an account to day trade? Mike, listen, that's the least of your problems. And no, you don't. You could still do this, with trading, to do it. What platform broker do you use? Danny, listen, that's the least of your problems right now. Don't worry about a brokerage account. There's so many of them out there. Everybody here has their own, depending what kind of style of trader you are. Some of them are good to do multiple type of trading strategies. If you're doing futures, forex, and options, depends what it is. Listen, the number one thing is this, Danny. When you come into the trading room, first see if trading's for you or not. See what everyone's using, and then you make a decision. There are people here. I do education with Thinkorswim, TD Ameritrade, TradeStation, Charles Schwab, Tastyworks, Interactive Brokers. I do education with so many brokerage firms, and I'm also endorsed by a lot of these brokerage firms. And you probably see me on there. I do presentations for them all the time. But everyone's is a case by case. Everybody here is a case by case basis. Holland, can you briefly review level 1, level 4 stock characteristics? Holland, I really don't have time for that. But guess what? You're in luck. You're going to get my trading room, and you'll see it every morning and over the course of the day. Thinkorswim, like I said, good platform, but Danny, but it also depends on, what you're using it for. Great options platform, but not always the greatest if you're going to strictly just do day trading. You could still use it. The problem is it doesn't have the level 3 and level 4 platform onto it. You have to get a second system. So, but I could tell you this. You got a lot of I know a lot of you here. I look at it this way. This is like an interview, right? How many of you guys, how many webinars have you done so far? How many presenters have you seen? Just out of curiosity, how many of you guys, how many webinars have you done in the past? One is your first one, 10th, 50th, tons, a lot, France. Okay. And you'll notice everybody has their own spin on things and their own style. A couple of them, Wayne. Okay, good. Well, guess what? You doing them are the greatest things in the world because you have to listen and you got to attend them. Don't worry about these recordings, okay? Because you know what? You want to have somebody that could answer your question. You can't answer a question watching a recording unless if you have no choice, you're going to miss it. But I could tell you this. If you really are focusing on a specific industry you like to trade, You got to go to those people and you got to register and listen to them live and be able to ask them questions like you're doing right here, because every one of you are going to need a webinar, are going to need a mentor, and you're going to need a few of them. Okay. So right now, this is just more of an interview. Where the actual test comes into play is now when you see them in action. That's where you're going to have to, because you're going to have to do it regardless. And then once you do that, and then you see who Cyber Trading University is, then you'll see why we're very well, why Cyber Trading University has been in business for 25 years and, be endorsed by so many brokerage firms in the industry. And we're very proud of that. And by the way, I just want to let you guys know, every single one of these brokerage firms do credit checks on us, do background checks on us. So when I hear somebody come up to me and they say, Fausto, I want to do my research. Research? Okay, do your research. Do you think NASDAQ would want Fausto Pugliese to talk to their million traders that trade their market, knowing that I'm teaching somebody something that is illegal? You know what I mean? Like, do you think Charles Schwab or Thinkorswim would want me to, talk on their behalf, knowing that I filed bankruptcy 5 times, or I lied to somebody and showed them fake account statements? Which, by the way, I think that is so disgusting. And by the way, there's a lot of people that do that out there. Okay. So just always remember that is a very, very important tool. So this is what I want you to do. I want all of you guys to join me in my trading room. Okay. This is the original day trading room that I started 25 years ago. I've trained people, and hopefully you'll be one of them, where you can continue to teach other people. A lot of these trading companies out there, a lot of them are my students, a lot of them are my instructors, and they all started and they came from here. And I'm very happy, and hopefully you could be one of those people too, because you're gonna love teaching people. The way we train you is we train you to teach other people, because you have to teach people to trade so you can be part of a team. Eventually, once you know the basics, in other words, let's say you go to college. I assume a lot of people went to college, right? So once you go to college and you know the foundation of it, eventually, hopefully, you're going to start your own practice. And that's our ultimate goal. Because once you see what's going on in this room, you're going to realize that you're like, my God, I gotta give some back to people. I got to contribute. I got to help them out. Also, I'm not a charity thing, but I'm also in the business to make money too. So why not go out there and do that for yourself? Because trading, I told you, a great job. But in this trading room, I just want to let you know, we start around 8 o'clock in the morning Eastern time, and we just trade all day. We actually only work about an hour a day, basically about it. An hour a day, first hour of the open, last hour of the close, are pretty much done. Okay. Now this is the deal I'm offering everyone. $9. Just give me 1 week. Give me 1 week in my trading room. Okay. And this is what you're going to get. You're going to get a day trading crash course. You're going to get your own personal education advisor. Yes, you can actually talk to somebody on the phone. You're going to get a morning and afternoon watch list. I'm going to teach you how level 3 works, level 4 in the real market conditions, everything for a lousy, stinking $9. What do you have to lose for $9? Because guess what? At the end of the week, if you don't want it, I'll give you money back. Okay. Why am I doing this for $9? I'll tell you why. Because eventually you're going to have to make an investment in your training. Okay. And you probably know that already. A lot of companies go out there and they tell you, listen, this is what it costs. But why not sample it first and see if other people are making money doing it and find out the truth? And you'll know that in 7 days. You'll actually you might learn that in 1 hour. Your mind's going to explode. Or you might say, you know what? I'm glad I took that $9 offer, because now I realize trading's not for them. So that, and not only that, but if you register right now, I even personally give you a coaching class. Now, to register for that, let me just get you the link, and you post it in the room. It's a day trading trial right here. And put it to the whole 10. There you go. I put the link right up there, and actually you could see it in the chat. And if you go back right here on our homepage or our website, it says day trading trial. You click on that, and there's the trial. All right. So once again, $9, really got nothing to lose. Come into the original trading room. Let me teach you level 3. Let me teach you the greatest job in the world. Let's get away from this coronavirus. Let's have some fun and not worry about stimulus packages, and let's make our own money. Okay. Joe, if you want to continue after the week, then it's $149 a month. Okay. If you don't want to continue, believe me, I don't want you in there. Okay. I really don't want to get, we're not here to, play games or scam people. Listen, I got a reputation. I have I have a reputation out there. Last thing I need one of you guys to go out there and just hurt my 5-star rating. I'm not in that business. I'm not that desperate for the $9. Trust me. Okay. Any other questions? It like I said, if you want to continue, it renews. If you don't, it cancels right away. Any other questions, guys?
We still have some time if you have anything else to talk about, Fausto. We're waiting for the next speaker to join us.
All right, no problem. I'll give it another 5 minutes because I got to jump into. Believe it or not, I got another event with another partner. I got to jump into another multi-speaker event. It's like my fifth. It's like my 6th one this week. Listen, everybody wants to learn how to trade. Everybody's wants to learn how to get into this industry. I'm enjoying it more than ever. The greatest thing about what we're doing is we can handle as much people as we want, but honestly, we are very selective after that week, because when I do my conversation, have your coaching class with me, I tell you the truth, some people really don't qualify to trade. And you know what? That's okay. Think of me being your doctor, right? You need surgery. You want a second opinion? I'll tell you point blank if you should do it or not. I'd rather you know now than go out there and blow up your account, because that's the worst thing, to have it. Don't screw up the greatest opportunity out there. Any other questions, by the way? Like I said, guys, it's $9. You got nothing to lose. Okay. It's all that $9 does is tell me if you're a real person or not. All right. Any other questions? I'll throw another question out there. Just some people always ask, what are you going to learn in the room? Okay. Well, first of all, I'm just telling you right now, I don't tell anybody what to buy and sell. First of all, it's illegal to do that. And secondly, it does not make you money. You need to learn how to stop losing money. That's what you have to learn what to do. That is our ultimate goal. That's what I was trained. Okay. Once you learn how to stop losing money, the winners end up taking care of themselves. That's really what it comes down to it. Psychology is the most important thing. Keeping it simple, second, and learning how to lose is third. And that's all you need to know. All right. So you got the link up there, guys. So I'm going to go jump onto, I have another webinar that's starting in about 15 minutes with another partner. So I'm going to give you about 15 minutes to do what you do. You're going to have another presenter coming in right now. And I'd like to thank you guys at MTI for having me here. It's always been great. I'd like to thank everybody that's watching us all over the world. And look forward to hopefully see you all in the trading room. Just remember, guys, before we go, if you move forward with us, you don't move forward with us, just do me one big favor. Please be safe with the coronavirus. That's the most important thing. We don't want anybody get sick. That's the most, listen to the scientists. All right. You want to listen to traders? Like I'm telling you, like us, listen to the scientists when it comes to coronavirus. Try not to outsmart them. Good luck, everyone. Happy trading.
Hey, guys. Thank you so much, Fausto. We're still waiting for the next presenter. If you want to give me about 3 or 4 minutes, we'll get him on. Thank you, guys.